It is the single biggest money decision of your entire retirement, and most people make it almost completely by accident. The exact age you choose to claim your Social Security can swing your lifetime benefits by literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the whole decision really comes down to just three numbers: three ages: 62, 67, and 70. So today, let me show you the real math hiding behind each one, and the single honest question that actually decides which is right for you. First, the mechanic that everything else is built on. Social Security is centered on what they call your full retirement age, which for most people retiring today is 67. Claim exactly at that age, and you receive 100% of your benefit, the full amount. But you are allowed to start as early as 62, or to wait as late as 70. And the system rewards you or punishes you permanently for whichever choice you make. So start with the first door, claiming at 62. It is by far the most popular choice people make, and it is also quietly the most expensive one. Because if you take it that early, your monthly check gets permanently cut by roughly 30% for the entire rest of your life. You do collect more checks overall, but every single one of them is dramatically smaller. The appeal is completely obvious: money in your hands now, while you are still young and healthy enough to truly enjoy it. But that 30% cut never, ever heals. And to be fair, claiming early is genuinely not always the wrong move. If your health is poor, or the people in your family rarely live into their late 80s, or you simply need that income just to cover your life, then taking it early can be exactly the right call. A smaller check that you collect for many, many years can absolutely beat a larger one you barely live long enough to see. Claiming at 62 is really a bet that your best retirement years are right now, not somewhere off in the distance. And there is one more trap with claiming early that catches working people completely off guard. If you turn on Social Security before your full retirement age, while you are still earning a paycheck, the government temporarily holds back part of your benefit once your income climbs past a certain limit. So claiming at 62 while you are still working can quietly mean giving up a chunk of the very check you just switched on. If you are not truly done working yet, early is very often the worst possible time to claim. Now the second door, claiming at your full retirement age of 67. Here you collect your full, unreduced benefit, the whole 100%, with no penalty and no bonus attached. It is the neutral, default, middle-of-the-road choice, and honestly, for a great many people it is a perfectly sensible one. But here is the part that most people completely miss. In those 3 years between 67 and 70, the system quietly offers you something genuinely rare in all of finance. Because here is the third door, waiting all the way until 70. For every single year you delay past your full retirement age, your benefit grows by about 8%, and that growth is guaranteed. Wait the whole way to 70, and your check ends up roughly 24% bigger than it would have been at 67, and a staggering 76% bigger than at 62. Just sit with that for a second. An 8% fully guaranteed, inflation-adjusted raise for every year you are willing to wait. There is almost nowhere else on the entire planet you can buy a deal that good. Quick, honest note, before the math goes any further. None of this is financial advice. It is just how the Social Security rules actually work. Your health, your savings, and your situation are entirely your own. So take this as a map, not a command. Now, back to it, because here is where the whole decision finally comes together. So which of the three doors actually wins? It really comes down to one single thing: how long you end up living. Picture an early claimer and a late claimer side by side. At first, the early claimer races out ahead, collecting check after check, while the other one waits with nothing coming in at all. But those much bigger checks slowly, steadily catch up. And somewhere around age 80 to 82, the two of them cross. That crossing point is called the break-even. Live past it, and waiting wins, very often by a huge margin. Die before it, and claiming early was the better bet all along. So the truly honest question was never really, what is the best age? The real question is, how long do you genuinely expect to live? If your health is strong and your parents and grandparents lived deep into their 90s, then delaying is one of the single smartest moves you can possibly make. You are buying yourself a much bigger paycheck for exactly the years you are most likely to need it, in deep old age, when your other savings may be running thin. But if your health is fragile, claiming early can absolutely be the right and wise choice. And here is the one factor that almost nobody ever talks about, the one that quietly changes everything for married couples. When one spouse passes away, the survivor gets to keep the larger of the two Social Security checks, not both. So, when the higher earner in a couple delays all the way to 70, they are not just buying a bigger check for themselves. They are buying a bigger check for whichever one of them ends up living the longest. Very often a widow who will lean on that exact income for years and years. Delaying the higher earner's benefit is one of the most powerful ways on earth to protect the person you love the most. And there is one last thing here that the cold math can never quite capture on its own. A bigger guaranteed check, paid for life, that quietly rises with inflation every year, is about the closest thing to a truly worry-free retirement that money can actually buy. For a lot of people, the deep certainty of that larger check at 70 is worth more than squeezing out the last possible dollar. Because money in retirement was never only about the grand total, it is also about how peacefully you get to sleep at night. So those three doors are really just three completely different bets on your own life. 62 bets that your best years are happening right now. 67 plays it safe, straight down the middle. And 70 bets on a long life, and quietly protects your spouse on the way. There is genuinely no single right answer for everyone. There is only the right answer for your health, your savings, and your family. So run your own break-even. Be brutally honest with yourself about your longevity, and then decide this on purpose, instead of by accident. So, before you claim, sit with the one question that truly decides the whole thing. How long do you honestly expect to live? And who else will depend on your check after you are gone? Tell me in the comments. Just type 62, 67, or 70 for the age you are leaning toward right now. I am genuinely curious where everyone lands. And if you want the next breakdown, the one on exactly how Social Security gets taxed and how to legally keep more of it, it is waiting for you right now. I read every single one.